This piece was originally published to my Substack on 28th of February 2025. Links in the description. I am a British citizen living in Canada, married to an American. I supported the Labour Party in 2024, not just because I am generally a Labour supporter or because Labour stood the greatest chance of defeating the Conservatives, who had so thoroughly wrecked and ruined our nation for 14 long years, but because the message of renewal and change was a welcome one. Labour has a long and proud tradition of improving the country. Labour implementing Keynesianism was so successful it got Conservative Prime Ministers like Harold Macmillan to become champions of it. I still believe the Labour Party offers Britain its best chance at renewal, but not by aping the Blair years, by being timid, or by trend-chasing whatever the political right does. I, along with many of my fellow citizens, have grown increasingly frustrated with Labour's consistent failures to meet the moment, and the party's insistence on burning capital and goodwill on political dead ends, or by fumbling clear and obvious successes. Here are but a few. Labour have insisted on sticking to the Chagos Islands handover to Mauritius, a strategic disaster of an effort initiated by the outgoing Conservatives, despite the fact the islanders have quite literally begged the UK to renege on the deal. Many have highlighted the potential for China to gain further influence in the region at our expense. Labour have burned through goodwill by insisting on speed-running the assisted dying bill through Parliament, despite significant concerns and opposition over the potential for abuse. I am supportive of assisted dying in principle, but it is beyond baffling that something so contentious has been shielded from appropriate scrutiny. Wes Streeting, the Minister for Health and Social Care, has voiced concerns over its openness to coercion. Labour's constant dithering over opening closer ties to Europe, namely in the form of a youth mobility scheme. Reports abounded that it would be proposed, only for those reports to then be contradicted. A majority of Britons believe Brexit was a mistake, with only 11% seeing it as a success, yet, despite this, Labour have consistently resisted efforts to rejoin the customs union, even though it would be a huge boon to the economy and lessen trade barriers with the EU. Labour cutting the winter fuel payment without doing an impact assessment was nothing short of complete recklessness. No, pensioners with millions in assets obviously don't need the payment, but the complete breakdown in communication on the issue displayed a staggering lack of political acumen. The UK refused to sign the International Declaration on AI, in lockstep with the United States. While AI has many revolutionary potential benefits, its potential for abuse is also staggeringly high, something the declaration sought to tackle. Government sources claimed they had no awareness of the US's intentions. However, given Starmer's plan for AI investment in the UK hinges on, yet again, outsourcing that to US tech firms, the intention is clear: to curry favour with the US. And now we have had to watch the Prime Minister's obeisance to the Trump mafia regime in Washington. When asked a question regarding Trump's threats to the sovereignty of Canada, a close ally of the UK with deep social, political and historical ties, Starmer responded not by asserting the UK-Canadian friendship and affirming Canada is a sovereign nation, but by accusing the reporter of attempting to find a division between himself and Trump that wasn't there. After Trump and his sunken-chested lapdog J.D. Vance, in true mafia style, ambushed President Volodymyr Zelensky in the Oval Office in an absolutely shameful and disgusting display of utter betrayal, Germany, France, Poland, Estonia, Lithuania, Moldova, Sweden, Canada, Czechia, Portugal, Netherlands, and the European Union rushed to show solidarity within minutes of the meeting. At the time of writing this, it has been almost 4 hours since the meeting, and Starmer has said nothing. Starmer extended an invitation for Trump to visit the UK on his second state visit, a complete and utter waste of time, political capital, and taxpayers' money. Trump has made it abundantly clear he does not consider any nation but Russia, Israel, and arguably North Korea as an ally. If any world leader should have been extended a state visit with the full honours that entails, it is Volodymyr Zelensky. The story of British politics since 1979 has been one of endless privatisation of our greatest assets and achievements, including their sale to American interests for the sake of quick capital. We beg for American investment because we're too timid to unleash our own strength and potential. By doing so, we have sold a huge part of our sovereignty to American corporate interest. The Trump-Musk regime, backed by a huge majority of that same corporate interest, has demonstrated it is not an ally. It is not to be trusted, and we must not surrender one more inch of our sovereignty. We must seek to divest from the US in every possible way, politically, socially, economically, militarily. We have far better and far more natural allies in the Commonwealth, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, and far better allies within Europe, France, Germany, Spain, Italy, Denmark, Norway, Iceland, Sweden, Finland, and of course Ukraine, to name a few. And then there are allies outside of that bracket with whom we can find common ground: South Korea, Japan, Taiwan. And we must stand up for them and they for us, no matter where the threat comes from. The special relationship between the UK and the US is dead. We must stop naively trying to save it. Ditch it before it drags us to hell. The message for the Prime Minister is simple: meet the moment or move aside.